Hi, my name is Gunnar Watley, and today I will be discussing An American Tragedy by Theodore Dreiser. To begin, I will discuss my personal illustration of the book cover. As you see, down the middle there is a boy, and he is split between two different scenes. On the left, you see this bright cross in the distance with the sun and this nice environment. And as you see on the boy, though, he's wearing rag clothes. Well, that's to symbolize the beginning of the book, where our main character Clyde is in. He's a very poor boy, however, he has strong religious affiliations. And as you see on the right side, though, it is very dark and it's like a city environment. That's because at first he begins as this poor religious boy with this bright background, but he slowly transitions into, throughout the novel, a lavish lifestyle, as you see by his clothing and his city environments. And this dark path, however, this path becomes very dark throughout the novel. And as you see, there's this red banner in the back to symbolize what eventually Clyde will do. And eventually he commits murder for some of the deeds he actually does. And as you see below that is this void, this black abyss type of thing. Well, that is because as each deed that Clyde carries out throughout the novel leads him farther and farther down this path. And that is the void is to symbolize how everything he does just pulls him deeper and deeper into this new lifestyle that it just entraps him entirely. So to summarize, what this novel is basically about is about this boy named Clyde who decides that his religious life with his family that is not very well and is very poor is not worth his time, and that he wishes for something more of his life. So he ventures out, and through friends and personal connections, he develops this lavish lifestyle that is very bad. He engages in prostitution, drugs, drinking, and he goes on this terrible path. And though he gets more income than his family, he gets his nice lifestyle, he does very bad things. And eventually it takes him on this path of murder and just betrayal. And the book is set in the early 20th century, so it is not very current to our era or our generation. However, the novel and the plot itself is very relevant to young teenagers today. I feel that reading it, I learned a lot about life itself, or life growing out from this young age through Clyde. I feel that as you read it, you understand some of the aspects of coming out of your teenage years. And I feel like Theodore addresses that through his character by showing how you go from this nice little life you had before, but as you grow into your own person, depending on how you take it, you can throw it off entirely. As Clyde does, is when he goes on this path of prostitution and just terrible deeds, he becomes this terrible person and gets himself into a lot of trouble. And I feel that symbolizes a lot, that can mean a lot to young generation as mine is today. As we grow out of, as for me, as I grow out of high school, I have to keep my focus straight on the good things and not just let myself fall into this lifestyle of misery and just doing terrible things. So I feel like that's a very big part of what the novel's about, and that's why you should read it. As well, there's a lot of things you can't understand because of the novel's placement, as it is so early 20th century that it does not match up with our lives. However, the overall novel itself brings it back to this conflict and understanding of growing older and developing as a person. So I hope you enjoy the book if you choose to read it, and thank you for your time.